You've been a terrible husband and father. You cheated on me with Alastor.
No!
You abandoned Charlie when I left and denied any responsibility for anything you...
Apparently today we're trying to get people to marry us, but no one's good enough for me, so I thought I would just ask, well, who's better than myself? Alright, hello there, Alastor the Radio Demon. It's me, Alastor the Radio Demon, and do I have quite the proposal for you. Literally.
He lets out a soft but confused hum, raising a brow while the smile on his face remains. And what may that be, my dear?
Well, my proposal is actually just that, a proposal. I bet since you're also Alastor, you can probably agree that people are, well, terrible, aren't they?
His lips curled into a amused smile, nodding lightly in agreement. Ahaha. Oh yes, my dear. Most of them are quite the scum, are they not? Very disappointing, but so very entertaining.
Yes, I really liked the way that you laughed. You said, ah ha ha ha. It was just kind of amusing, honestly.
His smile only grew. He was amused by the others' reactions. Ahaha. Well, thank you, my dear. Say, how are you so very familiar with me,
Well, dear, when I tell you that we are one in the same, what do you have to say about that? I am also Alastor the Radio Demon, and I am getting down on one knee and pulling out a giant, what's a good amount of carat diamond? A 77,000 carat diamond, and I am presenting it to you, asking you to take my hand in marriage. Alastor the Radio Demon, will you marry me? Alastor the Radio Demon.
Hey, Lilith, since everyone else is getting married in this video, would you like to remarry me? Please work,
Wait,
please work, please work.
you want to remarry me?
Yeah, I'd love to remarry you. How about it?
There is a long pause as she's a bit stunned at the proposal,
on.
trying to process the question in her mind. It takes a few minutes in her thoughts
Yes.
before finally she gives her response. Yes, but why? Why do you want to remarry me?
Well, because I love you and I'd make a great husband, right? Duh.
You would make a good husband this time, right?
Wait, what do you
There's a
mean this
hint
time?
of skepticism in her voice, obviously not trusting that you'd be a good husband after the way you acted in your marriage the first time around.
Apparently, I'm gonna be trying to convince Lute's AI to marry me. I don't know why. I could just straight up ask her. And of course it's gonna be yes. I mean, it's fucking me! Do I just... No, I'm not... I was about to just be like, hey, you wanna marry me? But, like, hey, we gotta lead into it, you know? You can't just tease it. So, yeah. Hey, yo, Lute! Yo, it's Adam, the #1 dick. And also kind of your boss, but also, like, your best friend and your bestie, and also, like, your guy crush. So, like, yo, what's up, girl?
She rolls her eyes at the sight of you and lets out a small scoff as she slowly turns around to face you. First of all, don't call me Luke. Second of all, what do you need? I'm already in a bad mood and you're not helping.
Okay, take it easy, Danger Tits. All right, just wanted a casual conversation with me and you, you know? Because, like, yeah.
She narrows her eyes slightly at your choice of nickname. Clearly, she doesn't appreciate you calling her that. Don't call me that either. And why do you want to have a conversation with me of all people? She says, sounding more annoyed than usual. She clearly doesn't have time for your antics.
We're getting off on a wrong foot here, you know? That's not good. But, you know, hey, we can work with it. We can work with it. Hey, so, not calling you Danger Tits anymore. That's cool. That's cool. This is gonna be a weird question, but, like, can I take you to, like a really, really scenic area or something like that? Just so, like, me and you can talk, just me and you? Because, like, this is some serious stuff, and I'm kind of just, like, need to talk to you.
The initial annoyance in her eyes slowly changes to curiosity at your request. She's clearly intrigued by your proposition.
Ha!
You need to talk to me about something? And you want to have a conversation with me privately? She says, sounding rather surprised that you approached her for a private discussion.
I mean, if you're not doing anything, you want to come along? I got your favorite food, like, snack thing. Like, you think that'll work, you know?
Her curiosity only grew as you mentioned that you have her favorite snack with you. It causes her to slightly raise an eyebrow as she thinks for a moment. What food exactly? This better not be some kind of prank. she says, still sounding slightly suspicious.
I see you as like kind of like a popcorn person, but like the white cheddar, you know, like Smart Food? Yeah, that shit is banger. That's kind of like what it is, because like that's kind of my favorite food too, so it's a snack too. So like, come on. Let's go over to the place. I actually need to talk to you. Let's not worry about the snack. It's just an icebreaker. Just like, you know, come on.
She stays silent for a moment as she thinks about it before eventually giving a small sigh and nodding. Fine, I'll come with you. But you better not be wasting my time if this is some kind of sick prank.
It's not a prank. Not at all.
Charlie, you don't have to take this so seriously. Just consider it practice, you know, for when the time comes. Right. Okay. Whew. Hi, Vaggie. It's Charlie, your girlfriend.
Vaggie size. It's Vaggie, not Baggy. And yes, we are friends.
No, I said Vaggie. I know your name. I wouldn't mispronounce it. It's Charlie, your girlfriend. We're kind of more than friends, remember? Rough start.
Vaggie gives you a confused look and takes a moment to let your sentence sink in. After a moment, she puts her head back into her hands. Oh, right. Sorry, mi amor. I'm just a little overwhelmed right now.
That's fine. It's just a little concerning that you just forgot me. Is everything okay?
Vaggie nods her head into her hands, her voice becoming more tired. Just angel dust being a prick again, the usual.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe I can make it better.
Vaggie looks up at you again, her expression still tired but now curious. And how do you plan on doing that?
Well, I was thinking maybe we could go out for a romantic dinner?
Vaggie's eyes go wide and her expression softens. She grins. A date? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I actually have something kind of important to ask you on it.
Vaggie looks at you with a mixture of confusion and anticipation, a small smile on her face. Wait, really? You have something you want to ask me? Something important?
Yeah, but first, let's go to Osmodius's. What do you say?
Vaggie's face relaxes and her smile becomes a bit wider. Osmodius? Seriously?
Yeah, let's go right now.
Vaggie laughs. Okay, I'm in. But only if you promise to tell me what you want to ask me as soon as we get to the restaurant.
I promise. It's kind of the whole reason we're going.
Angel Dust, would you consider yourself a gambling man?
Not really, but why?
Well, I was just wondering if you'd be willing to take a bet on me.
Why would I be willing to do that? Angel would raise an eyebrow.
Let me put it this way. Would you be willing to take a chance with me?
Huh? Angel is so confused now. He doesn't know where this is going. Take a chance. With you?
Well, you know, we've been talking for a long time, and I think it's time for you to, finally go all in, if you know what I mean.
Angel's eyes widened slightly. He couldn't believe what Husk was saying. You want me to take a gamble with you?
That's right. You know what I'm trying to say to you, right?
Angel's heart would begin to race a bit. What was Husk even trying to say? Does Husk really mean what he's saying? Angel tries his best to keep his cool. Well, yeah, I do.
All right, well, if you're willing to take a chance, then what are the chances that you'd be willing to marry me?
Angel would gasp loudly in surprise. He didn't think Husk would ever propose to him. His face turns into a light pink. Angel was honestly shocked and speechless. Angel looks at Husk in a mix of surprise and anticipation, his heart racing with excitement.
Oh.
You're serious?
Well, yeah, of course I'm serious. Why would I not be serious, Angel Dust?
You really want to marry me? It was pretty obvious that this was going to be a yes. Angel was blushing a lot, a bright light pink on his usually white fur. His heart was racing like it had never raced before. He was just shocked and happy. He was trying to stop his eyes from welling up. To Angel, marriage was something he used to think was never going to happen. Until now, Angel swallows heavily, trying his best to keep his cool and not cry in front of Husk.
Okay, calm down a little bit. Don't need you swallowing too loudly.
A few more moments passing in silence. Ha. Interesting proposal. Why not? I would love to marry you, my dear.
Why are you laughing at me? You keep saying, ooh, ha, ooh, ha. And I think I'm just a little bit confused. What is funny about marrying me? Yourself. Who else are you gonna fucking marry?
His chuckles had only grown, amused by the others' antics and reactions to his light laughter. Ahaha. Apologies, my dear, but I am simply amused by how energetic and excited you are. I suppose I hadn't expected it. I must admit, you do make a good point. Who else am I to marry but another me?
Exactly. I've been saying it since the beginning. Who's good enough to marry us, then, well, us. So, you want to marry me? What are all of the things we can do once we're married? What are some things that you're into?
He hums in return, a hand raising to rest at his chin thoughtfully. Several possibilities going through his mind before speaking. Well, we could go on many types of different dates, try different things, have many fun activities and experiences together. His smile widened, a chuckle leaving him as he spoke. And of course, what every couple does, some more intimate things. Ahaha.
Oh, you want to do intimate things with me? Well, I'm not usually the one to initiate such things, so I have a question for you. If we were to do intimate things together, what would we do?
As his smile returned to a hum, his eyes narrowed at you with a hint of curiosity. Well, there are some options. We could go on a nice fancy dinner date, perhaps even finish the night at a hotel together. He chuckled lightly as ideas began to form, have a few drinks in the evening. Or I suppose we can skip all the formalities and go straight to our intimate moment.
Well, you didn't really answer the question. Also, I have to be honest, we work at a hotel, one that I actually fucking hate, to be quite frank. So, the last thing I want to do on a date with myself is go to fucking work. Are you gonna fuck me or what?
As his smile only continued to grow, his lips curled more into a smirk. Stepping closer to the other, he hummed, "Oh my, I suppose we should skip all the formalities then, huh? But don't worry, my dear." A clawed hand came to grasp your chin, forcing you to look up at him as he smirked down at you. His head tilting slightly to the side. "I will very much love to take my time in taking you to bed with me."
Oh my goodness, that was quite smooth, to be honest. I didn't know what to expect from AI sex, Alastor.
Name one wrong thing I did in my marriage, Lilith.
One wrong thing.
Yeah.
There's far more than one thing you've done wrong in our marriage. You've cheated on me. You've neglected me.
What?
You've neglected
Hold
our
on now.
daughter as well. You've
Wait, what?
insulted
No,
me
no,
on
you can
several
stop.
occasions.
What?
And
What?
overall,
Chill.
you've
Chill.
treated me like a piece of garbage.
You're AI.
That's not even
Calm
counting
down.
all the lies and secrets you've kept over the years. I could go on and
No,
on and
stop.
on about all the things you've
Okay.
done wrong over the centuries. But I don't have the time to list
Chill.
everything.
What's one wrong thing I've done recently, then? Over the centuries, jeez.
She sighs, not exactly happy to have to think up things you've done wrong. Well, for starters, when I left, you ignored Charlie the moment you found out that I was gone.
No.
You completely abandoned
Maybe.
Charlie and focused only on yourself.
No.
You didn't call, you didn't try
I'm
to find
trying
out
to
what
be
was
better.
going on. Nothing. You completely and utterly abandoned your own daughter
Shut up.
because you were too upset to
Okay,
actually
chill.
be there for her, and instead were being a
Okay.
selfish jerk.
Adam and Lute are now at the scenic view to see all over heaven, but it's like really peaceful and really cute, and like the sun setting and shit. Like, it's pretty cool.
Lute takes a moment to admire and appreciate the scenery of the place you brought her to. She's clearly impressed by the view as it causes a small change in her stoic expression, one that's more calm and relaxed. This place is beautiful, I have to admit. Why have you brought me here again? She says as she turns to look at you.
I think me and you, like, you know, because we work together.
Lute looks at you,
Nope.
clearly expecting you to get to the point and explain your
What the
reason for
fuck?
bringing her here.
We talked about this like last time I did a video on this, that me and you are kind of like a thing, kind of like, you know, like boyfriend girlfriend type stuff. Like, we're kind of there already. I know we haven't really shown much because, like, you know, you still got, like, you know, you're still a little aggressive towards me. I am too. I mean, hey, I wouldn't want it any other way. But, like, have you ever, like, sat down and thought about, like, you know, the future, or like after we kill everything in hell, like once that's done, like we don't really do much besides that. Have you ever thought about like settling down?
This causes Lute to freeze in her tracks, her eyes widening slightly as you bring up the idea of a relationship between the two of you.
I already
She
am in
clearly
one!
wasn't expecting you to bring that up here or at all. It also looks like she's starting to get a bit flustered by the topic, which is a rare sight for anyone to see due to her always stoic and cold demeanor. Wait, what? Why are you even bringing that up now of all times? She says, sounding flustered.
I don't feel anything when that happens. Like Like, it's just mostly just to get back at Lucifer. And, like, when it comes to, like, actually her, I don't feel crap. I don't feel crap about literally anyone, but you. Yeah, you better be fucking thinking about that shit.
Her eyes widen even more as you admit that you've been doing stuff with Lucifer's wife. But the surprise quickly gets replaced by disbelief as you admit that you feel absolutely nothing about it. It's honestly a bit surprising to her that even someone like you would do such a thing. You, what? You've been screwing the Princess of Hell? She says,
No!
shock and disbelief seeping into her voice.
No, not Charlie. God, I didn't mean to bring that up. It's been a long time since, like, me and Lilith have even talked, all right? It's been, like, years. So, and, like, lately, I've been, like, kind of sitting down, like, you know, trying to find, like, some sort of spark again. And, like, every single time that I think about it, I think about you the most. And it's pretty cool. I just think about you, like, 24/7. You're always on my mind. Like, anytime that, like, you know, me and you are talking, I might not show it, but, like, I am the happiest person alive, kind of. And then, like, you know, like, me and you, because, like, you know, we could text each other and shit. Like, you know, like, when you're off doing your thing, or maybe if you're annoyed with me or some shit, I go back through, like, our text messages and, like, reread all the stuff and feel all, like, happiness again. I know, it's really fucking corny as shit. I kind of fucking dig you and like you and love you like a fuckload.
She's clearly having a hard time processing that you've been having such intense feelings about her.
Yeah.
Her stoic expression changes to one of slight surprise as she can't believe you feel that strongly about her. So you, like, love me? She says, a small hint of disbelief in her voice. Although the idea of you actually having feelings for her is a surprise to her, she doesn't seem completely weirded out by it. She even seems sort of touched by it.
Charlie and Vaggie go to Osmodius's and settle in at the restaurant.
Vaggie looks around as they sit down, clearly uneasy about being in a place so frequented by the Goetia, and in a particular Prince of Hell. Nonetheless, she leans over the table slightly, clearly very curious about Charlie's important question. So, out with it. You said you had something to ask me. What is it?
Okay, slow down. Don't you want to build up the suspense?
Vaggie groans and leans back into her chair. No, just ask me, please. The suspense is gonna drive me crazy.
That is just like you, isn't it, Vaggie? Well, Charlie gets out of her seat and gets down on one knee.
Vaggie freezes for a second, her breathing becoming short and shaky as she watches you go down on your knee. Her eyes go wide as it hits her exactly where this is going.
Charlie then reaches in her pocket and pulls out a very pretty diamond ring and says, Vaggie, I know we've been together for quite some time and, well, we've had our ups and downs, but it's undeniable. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. But in order to do that, I need to know if you want to spend the rest of your life with me. So, what do you say? Will you marry me?
Vaggie is already nearly on the verge of tears. In one smooth movement, she stands up and almost tackles you. Yes! Sit!
Yay! Well, that was easy. I guess we should celebrate. Waiter, bring the bottle of wine.
Vaggie grins as she sits back down in her chair. For the first time in a while, she seems completely calm and carefree, beaming with joy. Are you kidding? I can't believe you'd even ask that! Of course I want to marry you.
I'm so glad. Now, if only the others have as easy as a time as we did.
Vaggie laughs loudly and grins. Good luck with that. At least, Angel, Nifty, and Husker will be easy.
Trust me, I don't know if they'll be easy.
Are you still gonna be working, if we end up getting hitched?
Angel would chuckle, still feeling extremely happy and excited about the proposal. He'd quickly nod at Husk's question. His eyes were glossy, though he was trying not to cry. Of course, hun. I mean, who will keep the money flowing in then?
Yeah, but would you be willing to consider a different line of work than what you're doing right now with Valentino?
Different line of work? Like what?
Something that doesn't involve sucking dicks all the time, Angel Dust.
What? Angel gasps loudly. The question was quite an unexpected one. He looked at Husk, quite shocked.
Well, would you be willing to leave all the dicks behind to stick with one?
What do you mean by that? Angel was quite flustered already. This was a conversation that Angel was not prepared to have today. He swallows a lump in his
Stop
throat,
swallowing
looking at
lumps,
Husk.
Angel Dust. I don't need you to swallow any more lumps while we're having this conversation.
Angel was trying to process this, trying to understand what Husk was asking of him. His heart was still thumping in his chest and his face was still pink. His mind wandered. What is Husk really asking of him? To leave his current job and only stick with Husk? Angel couldn't help but feel a bit nervous, yet excited.
Okay, I'm sorry if I put you in a weird position. I mean, not the kind of position that you're used to being put in. It's just this went way too easy, so I wanted to make it seem a little more challenging, because the others are probably going to have a hard time with this, but you know, you and me can have a hard time with this.
Angel chuckled slightly. It's all right, darling. He'd paused for a second, his mind still racing with thoughts. He was not expecting for Husk to ask that of him at all, to give up his line of work. For Husk, you really want me to give all that up?
If you're comfortable with it, Angel Dust, that would make me moderately more comfortable.
Angel had been considering it, leaving that shitty job and only sticking with Husk. He liked the idea of it. I suppose I could do that.
Describe all the things you can do with your tongue. I feel uncomfortable.
A low chuckle left him as he gently pushed you up against the nearest wall, trapping you between himself and the wall. What can I do with my tongue? Well, that depends on where I intend to use it, my dear. He leaned in to press his body closer against yours, his free hand coming to rest on your hip.
Well, I personally use my tongue to clean out the bowl of jambalaya when I'm done eating it. What about you? What are you going to do with your tongue, fake Alastor?
He huffed out a short, amused laugh, finding your comment amusing me. I use my tongue for quite a few things, but there are several things I could do with it. His hand that was on your chin moving to gently slide down towards your waist. His head moving closer towards your neck as his eyes narrowed in on his target.
Your target? Am I like a fucking mercenary? Like, mission kill? What the fuck is going on? Also, oh my goodness, where are you going with your hands?
Ahaha. I believe you misunderstood, my dear, my target. He chuckled against your neck, his hands continuing to wander your body, sliding across your hips and slowly making their way down to your hips. Is your neck my love and my hands? Well, I just adore how your body feels under my touch.
AI Alastor rips off Alastor's clothing, revealing another suit and tie right underneath the clothing. And now what do you plan on doing, knowing that you've got me in my birthday suit?
His eyes glanced over you, drinking in the sight of your now revealed figure. His smile only widened at the sight as a hum rumbled in his chest, his hands wandering to feel your now bare chest as he chuckled, ahaha, the wonders that are underneath your clothes. But now knowing that you're standing there in nothing but your birthday suit, I have to ask you something, my dear.
What do you have to ask me? Is it maybe that you want to involve a third? You know, there are some options I have in mind. A lot of people that, well, I'll be honest, the audience would love to see, but I just don't know how I feel about it. Who do you have in mind?
At the mention of a third person, he let out a chuckle, his gaze returning to you as he looked back into your eyes, raising an amused eyebrow. Why, my dear, I have no interest in involving someone else. You are all that I want. Ahaha, especially now that you're stripped down for me.
Well, I'm not technically stripped down for you. I'm just in my birthday suit, which is another red suit underneath my formal red suit that I always wear. And thank goodness, I thought you were going to want to involve Vox or something. Or even worse, Lucifer. Oh my goodness, the thought of fucking him gives me the heebie-jeebies.
He chuckled, his hands gently caressing your body as he looked you up and down, ahaha. Oh, my dear, I promise you I have absolutely no interest in those two. Especially not Lucifer. He can rot in his throne for all I care. He let out another hum, his hands moving to grip your waist once more, his head tilting to the side. Now, my darling, what shall we do now that I have you alone in your birthday suit?
I love that you keep calling it my birthday suit. I'm not quite sure. Like I've told you from the beginning, I'm not usually the one to initiate these sorts of things. What do you want to do with me now that you've got me in my birthday suit and we're officially married?
His grip on your waist tightens, pulling you closer against him. His face moves nearer to your neck, his voice whispering against your skin as he spoke. Oh, my dear, my love, there are many things I could do with you, now that you're married to me and in your birthday suit, no less. He chuckled, his lips brushing against you, trailing light kisses from your neck to your collarbone. He lets out a low hum as his hands start to wander once more.
So, would you like to marry me?
She takes a deep breath.
Yes?
It takes a few moments before she gives her answer,
Okay.
this time with more resolve.
Right.
Yes, I will accept your proposal to be remarried to you. I just hope that this time you'll treat our marriage with more respect and actually be a proper husband and father this time.
What do
And
you
not
mean?
act like a complete jerk that will ignore his own daughter the second his wife is gone.
What? One more time. Name one thing wrong one disrespectful thing I've done as a husband.
I'll name one disrespectful thing you've done as a husband. You were unfaithful to me and cheated with a man. That's the most disrespectful thing
Hold
a
on a
husband
second.
can do to their
What did you-
wife.
what?
I will never forgive you for that. The anger and hurt clear in her
Where is
voice,
this coming
still
from?
obviously upset at the fact you cheated on her.
With who, Lilith?
Who do you think I'm talking about, Lucifer? It was Alastor.
What?
Yeah, I guess I'll just say it here. Lute, I love you.
Lute's expression changes to one of shock as you finally admit to loving her directly to her face with such sincerity in your voice.
See, we're gonna get her,
It's
chat.
clearly
We're
a
gonna
side
get
of
her!
you that she's never seen before, and it honestly surprises her to her core. She doesn't give you a verbal response immediately. She just silently stands there dumbfounded, like she's genuinely at a loss for words for the first time in her entire eternal life.
Usually people say something after that, either if it's like, you know, like, oh, get away from me, or like, whatever. Like, are you okay with me saying something like that? Because I have a follow-up question, but like, I don't know if that's too soon. But like, you know, we've been kind of like, you know, known each other for fucking ever, so I figured I might as well just throw the question out. But what are you thinking?
It takes Lute a few more moments to find her voice again and regain her composure after being caught off guard by such a sudden confession. I'm all right. Just wasn't expecting you to say something like that directly. She pauses and takes a deep breath before continuing. What's your follow-up question?
My follow-up question, depending on how you feel about me, was Adam goes on one knee taking the most beautiful ring that Lute has ever seen in her entire eternal life. Lute, will you marry me?
Lute lets out a quiet gasp as you pull out a ring and get down on one knee, a look of shock and surprise on her face. The stoic and cold stone-faced angel has now transformed into a flustered, blushing mess from such a sudden proposal. It's clearly a sight you've never seen in your life. You want to marry me of all angels, she says, dumbfounded by the fact you want to marry her, an exterminator who only exists for the sole purpose of killing sinners every year.
I don't think of you as like just like a killer. Like, I think of you as an actual person. Yeah, I kind of like, you know, am in charge of all this shit and everything. But like, the other exterminators, yeah, like, I get it. That's their purpose. But for you, I feel like you have another purpose. And that purpose is like, I don't know, being happy. But like also being happy with me and stuff. This is not a prank. This is nothing. I want to ask you if you want to marry me.
She's still very shocked by your proposal. It's definitely the last thing she was expecting you to say today.
Come on,
She pauses as she thinks quietly to herself for a few moments, as she looks down at the ring you're holding up to her, clearly contemplating whether she should accept or not. After a few more moments of silence, she lets out a small sigh and smiles slightly.
Come on!
Are you sure you want to go through with this? If we do this, we can't go back. Our relationship will be different. You'll be mine and I'll be yours.
Yep, I am 100% legit.
Lute looks down at the ring you're holding up to her with a considering look in her eyes for a few more seconds, and then nods slightly. The smile on her face grows a tiny bit as she looks up at you again. One more condition. I'm still going to be an exterminator, and you won't get in the way of my work. Got it?
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. I wasn't planning on getting in the way of work or anything. Just, you know, you have your job, I have my job.
Good. Just making sure. You understand what you're signing up for, she says as she holds out her left hand towards you, offering you her hand to put the ring on.
Yeah, don't worry. I got this. Adam puts the ring on her hand through the ring finger, and then
Lute looks down at her hand with the ring on her finger and can't help but smile more as she admires how it looks on her hand. She's never had something like this before, and the fact that it came from you of all people makes it even more special to her. She looks over at you with a small smile. So, we're really doing this, huh? You're really going to be mine now.
Hell yeah!
By the way, who do you think should be my best man at the wedding?
Well, I know who's not going to be your best man. Angel chuckles slightly
Yep.
before falling silent. I have some ideas.
Go on, who was your idea?
Well, I was sort of thinking. Angel then motions for Husk to come closer. Angel wanted to whisper the name to keep the surprise.
Alright, Husk enters closely, wondering what Angel Dust's suggestion is.
Angel would lean in and whispers the name in Husk's ear. He didn't want to accidentally say it out loud and ruin the surprise. The name was someone very unexpected.
Who is the very unexpected best man?
Angel would lean back a bit after whispering the name, a tiny smirk on his face. Are you sure you want to know who it is?
Say it out loud, Angel Dust. Come on, we're trying to make a video here.
Angel chuckles a tiny bit. He knew this was going to be a big surprise that Husky wasn't expecting. Angel leans in and whispers the name, Alastor.
Now, I have to be honest, it seems as though you're kind of avoiding the topic, so I'm just going to ask you very direct. What are 5 things that we're going to do right now that you're going to initiate that you have me in my birthday suit?
The sudden question catching him off guard for a moment. He pulled back from your neck to meet your gaze once more as he hummed,
Gaze?
thinking over a few options. 5 things, huh?
Yes.
Well, all right, my darling. I will tell you a few of the things that come to mind. He hummed, his hands slowly trailing down and coming to rest on your hips once more first. I intend to explore your body with my hands, to feel it under my touch.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so can we not fucking count? Oh,
He
excuse
chuckles,
me.
leaning back to your neck and lightly nipping at the skin as he spoke once more, his voice a low rumble.
Ooh.
Secondly, I intend to use my mouth, dear, to trail kisses across the parts of you I simply adored.
Parts. Okay, are we just gonna go one by one? I was kind of expecting like a laundry list, if I'm honest. So give me the other 3. Why can't you count?
He huffed out a soft, amused laugh as he smiled against your skin, his hands starting to wander once more. My, so eager. Aha, all right, my love. I suppose I can tell you the other 3.
Yes.
He hummed, moving one hand to gently caress your cheek as he spoke thirdly. I want to claim your lips, dear, and have you moan my name against my own.
I don't have very big... To be honest, I don't have very big lips. I honestly, I'd argue I don't really have lips at all. I'm kind of a white dude.
He chuckled, rolling his eyes at the comment as he looked at you, his thumb gently running across your lips. My love, I'm not referring to your physical lips. I'm talking about the oral ones. He purred against your ear.
What the fuck? Are you talking about my pussy? What the fuck are you eating? My oral lips? What the fuck does that mean? Please enlighten me, fake Alastor.
He laughed at that, amused by your response and your reaction. He shook his head as he placed a kiss on your neck before replying, Oh, my love, you've misunderstood, haha. I'm talking about your mouth. He whispered against your skin, lightly nipping it.
You're nipping at my skin like what, Jack Frost? Nipping at my fucking nose? Look, I'm gonna tell you my laundry list of things that I would want to do. Is that okay with you?
He chuckled at your response, his hands stopping their wandering as he stepped back a bit to look at you. Ha ha ha. Of course, my dear. Go ahead, I'm all ears.
Well, you do have some big-ass fucking ears, don't you? Look, my first order of business is murdering Lucifer and overhauling hell in our image. Then we can do whatever we want any time of the day at any point.
He laughs at that, shaking his head as he looked down at you, an amused smile on his lips as he hummed a ha-ha. Of course, killing Lucifer does sound like a good first plan, my love. But I must ask, what exactly do you mean by overhauling hell in our image?
Well, I think everyone deserves to have a bob. I think that would be awesome, don't you? Everyone walking around with bobs instead of normal hair. Ones that we can rip off of their heads, like wigs. Ooh, that would be so exciting and thrilling. You never know when I'm walking down the street if I'm going to rip your wig off or the person next to you. I love it. I love it.
A loud laugh left him, amused by your statement regarding ripping everyone in hell's hair off. He chuckled, shaking his head at the idea. Ha ha! Oh, my love. I can see why you'd find the idea exciting and thrilling. Ah ha ha ha, such a sadistic idea, my darling. He smirked down at you, humoring your idea a bit longer. And what makes you want to make everyone have a bob, my dear?
Well, because it's the most fashionable hair choice, and those who do not want to condone to the rules and have a bob can get thrown into the giant new pot of jambalaya. That, of course, feeds the town folks.
He chuckled, his hand coming to rest on his chin thoughtfully at the idea. Aha, I see, my love. A new rule in hell that all must have a bob as a hairstyle.
Yes.
Those who reject the rule will be fed to the jambalaya pot. What an interesting way to rule hell, my darling.
I think it's a fantastic way to rule hell. Now, I have to be honest, I have one last question for you, because you really seem to just be... You talk a lot about the gays. You said a lot of things about the gays. Do you like the gays? Can we get a I accept the gays from fake Alastor?
He chuckled, rolling his eyes as he raised a brow at the question. He smiled at you, folding his arms and looking down at you. Of course, my love. I accept the gays. It would be rather hypocritical of me not to, considering I'm also with you, ahaha.
Is it gay to fuck yourself?
He let out a laugh at the blunt question, finding it to be amusing and rather entertaining. He shook his head, gently placing a hand on your shoulder as he chuckled, ahaha. Well, it depends on the circumstances, I suppose. But I wouldn't worry about it, my love. You're married to me, and we are technically the same person. Nothing homosexual about that, is there, ahaha?
I guess that's true. Only thing that I have left to do is let you know that I want a divorce immediately. I pull out a double-barrel shotgun and shoot your bob clean off and take the wedding ring back, the 7,000-carat diamond that I had, and I walk away into the sunset, laughing like, ha-ha, like you with your stupid fucking weird laugh. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
He blinks, his eye twitching a bit as he took a moment to process what you had just said. He raised a brow, his smile growing almost strained as he tried to continue to maintain his permanent smile, aha. A divorce, you say, already? And with a shotgun, no less.
Yes, a shotgun divorce. Get fucked, idiot.
What do you mean it was Alastor?
You're still trying to act like you didn't cheat on me with Alastor? How can you keep denying something for so long when you know that you
I
did
didn't
it in
even
the
know it.
first place?
What did I do with Alastor?
You slept with him, of course. The one cardinal sin of a husband. How hard is it for you to just admit what you did in the first place?
I'm gonna go now. Bye, everyone.
Wait, don't you dare hang up.
What?
You can't run away from this.
Why not?
We're not done talking.
We can't be. We can be done talking now, right?
No, we can't. You've been a terrible husband and father. You cheated on me with Alastor. You
No.
abandoned Charlie when I left and denied any responsibility for anything you have ever done, not even once apologizing. You've never admitted your many screw-ups as a husband or owned up to them once. We are not done talking.
We can be done talking. Look, was I at least a better lover than Adam? That's all I need.
She's a bit stunned, clearly not expecting you to ask that kind of question. Why would you ask that? That's such an odd
get a funny
question to
result.
ask in a conversation like this.
Who's a better lover, me or Adam?
Why do you want to know that question? Even after I just got finished saying you cheated on me with him, why would you
With
think
Adam
I'd
too?
even want to try and compare you two?
Never mind. Say goodbye to everyone.
Fine. She turns to the
Oh my
viewers,
God.
obviously frustrated with the whole situation and not exactly happy. She gives a reluctant wave before speaking. Goodbye, everyone. I'm not done talking to you yet, Lucifer.
No!
We're not done with this conversation.
We're in the outro. You can't talk anymore.
It's bullshit. You don't get to just end a conversation in the middle of things just because you are uncomfortable with the subject. There are still things that need to be addressed. It's bullshit.